Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around and talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have some really great topics to go into today ahead of Sunday's matchup and some more stuff about the coaches. So let's jump straight into today's video. But before we do that, if you're not already, make sure you go down right into the description. Subscribe if you're not already. What are you doing? If you're here watching, might as well subscribe. Hit the bell while you're at it so you never miss a video. We upload daily, Monday through Friday, and we always love to talk about great new stuff and some rumors. It's a really big help. And also, I forgot to mention, guys, we hit 800 subscribers. My bad. Thank you so much. We're actually almost to 900 as well. If we could get there before the end of next week, that would be crazy. We're on the road to 1,000 right now, and you guys have been extremely helpful and supportive so far. Thank you guys so much. Let's get into this video. Starting off, we're talking about the salary cap, right? So we talked about Hutch getting his contract extension. Really excited, but we kind of mentioned there are going to be, some where there is good, there's going to be some bad as well with this contract extension. The 180 million extension has now kind of put him in that group of 7 core players locked up through the 2028 season. Here are the recent contract extensions that have been signed. I know we talked about this, but we're going to talk about it one more time. Quarterback Jared Goff is 4 years, 212 million. Amon-Ra St. Brown is 4 years, 120 million. JMO is 3 years for 83 million. Right tackle Penei Sewell is 4 years for 112 million. Ali McNeil is 4 for 97 mil. Edge Aiden Hutchinson, which we've talked about, is 4 years for 180 mil. Kirby Joseph is 4 years for 84.1 mil. So we got some players we're paying a lot of money. And while there are certainly some big extensions to come in the following years, I really want to focus on these 7 contracts for now and highlight just how difficult the job of being a general manager is moving forward, because up to this point, it hasn't been that insane for him to manage. Currently, these 7 players account for a total of $84,830,616 in cap space for the 2025 season. That is just a tad over 31% of the entire team's salary cap for this year, which, when you put into consideration 7 guys taking up 30%, is wild. Using over the cap's estimated NFL salary cap in future years and the initially reported numbers of Hutchinson's new contract, here is what the core 7's cap hit will look like over the next 3 seasons. So Jared Goff in 2028 will be at about 61 mil. St. Brown will be at about 26 mil. JMO will be at 14 million. Penei Sewell 34 million. For Hutch, it's going to be 38. Ali McNeil is going to get 29 mil. Kirby Joseph will be at 13 million. So that's a total of 216 million and some change. And in 2028, that's going to be 66.29% of the cap, which is nuts. But it's not all bad. Jared Goff goes from 32 million to 69.6 million. Amon-Ra goes from 13.9 million to 33 million. Penei goes from 9 million to 28 million. As a result, the core 7 cap hit jumps from 31% to 62%. But again, there is good news. Those 7 players won't actually take up over 60% of the team's salary cap next year. That would make it impossible to have a football team. Detroit can immediately drop Goff's massive cap hit next year by taking nearly all of that 55 million salary and turning it into a signing bonus that is, dealt out over the next 5 years. That could easily happen to a number of other players on this list, and that could drop his cap hit by around 40 mil, which would actually make it reasonable to have a team around him. Still, though, the charts above do highlight how quote unquote easy it has been for Brad Holmes so far, because a lot of our star players have been on rookie contracts. Even with the maximum restructures for Goff, Sewell, and St. Brown next year, the 7 would take up around 37% of the cap, a significant jump from this year's 31.5%. And it's only going to go up and get more difficult from there because there's still a number of players we have yet to sign. Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, those guys are all going to be eligible next year, and we need to start considering who's staying and who's going. And if you're a Lions fan, you don't want any of those guys to go. We'll talk about that a little later in the comments part of this video, but for now, that's where the cap's looking. Definitely a dangerous couple of years ahead of us in terms of who, getting other guys on the team, keeping other guys. But right now, these seem like our core dudes, and I feel like each person on that list has really earned their bag. So I'm not too angry about it. Keeps our Super Bowl window open longer when we have Hush on that much longer. So I'm not mad at it. I'm hoping Brad Holmes knows what he's doing, and I know he knows what he's doing. So I think we'll be all right. Let me know what you guys think though about this and what your real opinions are. I did see some comments telling me like it's not going to be as bad as I thought in the last episode. So I did some digging in. Surprise, surprise, you guys were right. That's going to take us into our second topic. We were talking about John Morton. He actually spoke up on Jameson Williams' recent lackluster performance, right? We know Jameson Williams is well behind pace in the quest for his second consecutive 1,000-yard season. The former number 12 overall pick broke out in style last season with by far his best year in the NFL so far, but has not found the same success yet in 2025. And offensive coordinator John Morton took the blame for that slow start to the campaign, saying that he quote unquote failed Williams over the first 7 games. Now, there's always going to be trouble, right? When you're in your first year as that coordinator role, especially with the kind of caliber offense you have, it's not going to just be picking up where Ben Johnson left off, right? You got your own flow, you got your own style. But the weird thing is that I don't know. It was almost like it seemed in the stars that JMO was going to be crazy this year just based on what Morton was saying preseason. The new coordinator said that he intends to work at getting Williams open more often and dialing up more plays to unlock his capabilities as one of the Lions' top weapons, as he puts it, right? He said that in the preseason, though, like we know. And so it's really now in a position where, okay, he's taking some blame for it. Maybe he's just trying to get JMO hyped up and try to get him out of a rut. But now they got to put their money where their mouth is, right? He said he said, quote, "I'm going to do a better job with that, but there have been some opportunities where it just doesn't happen. It's not like we ain't going to try to target him. That was the biggest thing. So I looked at everything. I have failed him. That's what I have told him. I have to do a better job with that, but it's a two-way street. We definitely looked at that," end quote. And basically that's all he's saying is, yeah, maybe I could be targeting him more. Maybe I could be dialing up more stuff for the guy that I hyped up all offseason. But at the same time, consider Williams has some opportunities, dropped balls, not lazy routes, but just being smothered. It's been kind of a two-way street, but Morton does take on that responsibility being in the coach position. And I say good on him, right? Williams last season caught 58 passes for 1,001 yards and 7 touchdowns, and he added another score in the playoffs with that end-around route. He was on an extreme upward trajectory under former offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and improved his numbers each of the first 3 years as a pro through him. So now I'm starting to think, I don't know, was Ben Johnson the reason JMO was popping off? No, I don't think that about Goff. I definitely don't think that about JMO, right? I doubt that's the reason what's going on. It's through 7 games so far this season. Williams has just 17 catches for 289 yards and 2 touchdowns, putting him on pace to finish the year with just over half of the production he logged a year ago. Now that would be scary, right? If you take a half cut, especially being one of our top weapons, we just signed you, and I know what you're gonna say. Oh, he's blocking, he's distracting, sure. But if we're gonna sign him to a significant contract like that, you guys already know what I'm about to say. Gotta get more catches, right? Morton has even said, quote, "This guy, he's awesome. He doesn't say anything. He just goes and plays. Like I said to him, I wouldn't fault you if you're pissed at me. I've coached that position. I played that position. I know he works too hard. We got to make sure that we're going out and doing the right thing, the right techniques, this, that. It's not just him. It's everybody," right? End quote. So he knows. John Morton knows. John Morton knows what the fans have been saying, and he's not an idiot, and he knows he needs to get the ball in that guy's hands a lot more if we want to be the same level of explosive offense we saw last year, right? Now, the good news in all this is just because JMO hasn't been having a fantastic year, it doesn't mean the passing offense altogether hasn't been bad. Those other receivers have been picking up the slack. The team's 1,565 passing yards through 7 games is almost identical to the 1,599 yards the offense racked up at this point a year ago. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been the primary target, as usual, and leads the NFL with 7 touchdowns, while tight end Sam Laporta and running back Jahmyr Gibbs also have more catches than Williams. Now, Laporta, that one kind of shocks me just because we've talked about how maybe we didn't think he was doing a great job, but he was doing tight end things that we maybe don't see on every play, right? Jahmyr Gibbs has been getting very involved in the passing game, which is something John Morton did say that would happen. So he's not just wrong, right? He's not just saying things and then going against it. He is getting Gibbs the ball a lot more in the passing game. It just seems like this is one of these things they have to work out, right? Like we said, like we saw week 1, little things we got to work out to be better next week. I feel like this is one of them, and I feel like against the Vikings, big division opponent, they have a beat up team. Our offense is clicking on all cylinders. I have a feeling, guys, this might be JMO's week where he kind of shuts up all the angry fans. And I would hope he does, because that would make me happy. If he shuts me up, that's fine with me. I would love to see him have a great game. Let me know what you guys think about that, though. I don't necessarily think John Morton is all to blame for this at all. But I think it was a huge move as a guy in a position like him. He's in a leader position. He represents the offense, and for him to go out there and take blame like that, even though he knows it's probably not 100% his fault, good on him. I'm glad he's keeping himself accountable, and he just needs to go and keep these guys accountable, and I think we'll be fine. I think he's doing a fine job as an offensive coordinator so far. He's working out these growing pains. It's what happens. We'll see what happens with the rest of the season. You guys let me know what you think. That's going to take us into our third topic. Just a final injury update ahead of Sunday, because there's been some new things for both teams so far. Let's start with the Vikings, right? Save the best for last. Well, Vikings quarterback Carson Wentz is out for the rest of the season. We discussed that shoulder injury. And even though McCarthy is coming back from his 5-game absence to play the Detroit Lions, that really leaves the Vikings with an undrafted rookie free agent and Max Brosmer as their other available signal caller as a backup if JJ is to go down. And that puts them in a really, really bad situation if JJ was to go down by, I don't know, Aiden Hutchinson and his new contract comes around the edge and just blindsides him. That would not be good for the Vikings. Well, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell wasn't going to leave anything to chance against the team's NFC North rivals, so the Vikings had signed a championship-winning quarterback to be ready in case McCarthy and Brosner are sidelined on Sunday. Now, I'm kind of leading you guys astray with the whole championship-winning quarterback, but let's hear it. On Wednesday, the Vikings took to social media to announce that they have signed quarterback John Wolford to the practice squad. John Wolford, everybody. 30 years old and played for Wake Forest in college. And if you're asking, well, championship winning, yeah, he was with the Rams when they won their Super Bowl as, I believe, their third string quarterback, maybe fourth string. So technically, he is on a championship winning team. Sorry, I misled you guys there. He's 30 years old, played for Wake Forest, like we said. So far in the NFL, he has 104 passing attempts for 626 yards and one touchdown, with 58.7% ball accuracy. No, I'm not worried about this guy. No, I'm not worried about this guy. Am I worried about the other two guys? No, not really. I think that was their big problem, but they already kind of put their chips down on JJ, so it's really just let him develop and hope for the best kind of deal. These guys are just in case we need a quarterback type of situation. So good for the Vikings. I'm not too worried about it, and I don't think you guys should be either. Now, for the Lions, which we saved for last, Avonte Maddox is upgraded to questionable from out. Kirby Joseph is upgraded to questionable from out on that knee injury, which good for me. He's been practicing, and all that means is he's getting ready for Sunday. I hope he plays, right? Sion Faki and Craig Reynolds have also been upgraded to questionable. So got two of our running backs back in the mix, especially Craig Reynolds, who's a big special teams guy. Good to have him getting better and getting back into it. And some more good news for all you Lions fans. Malcolm Rodriguez, while still listed as out, has been getting limited participation in practice. So not anything crazy, not full contact, but he's getting his reps in and he's getting back to where he needs to be to play on this team if he needs to be, right? And that makes me happy. I'm glad Rodrigo's getting back in the mix. I'm glad he's getting his reps in. That makes me happy. He's one of those team favorites, and it's definitely going to be good for the fan base to have him back in that lineup. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys worried about John Wolford? I don't think you are, but I think it was worth bringing up. They grabbed somebody else just in case. It's just another piece to that depth chart in case our guys just go crazy, which I feel like they will go crazy on that defensive line come Sunday. That's going to take us to our fourth and final topic for this week. We are talking about some of your comments, and we have some good ones. So Fatic4, we talked about it earlier, how we'd get into this part in the comments. He says, I can't imagine who we wouldn't keep from Gibbs, Jack, Sam, and Branch. Maybe Sam, but I can't see them letting Gibbs, Jack, and Branch go, right? So that's the thing. Do we let Laporta go? He's been kind of having down years, but it's not really his fault. It's just there's more mouths to feed on that offense since he was a rookie. I don't know if we get rid of Sam. He's our tight end right now. I mean, Brock Wright's a great tight end. He's a great blocking tight end, but he doesn't have the same receiving capabilities of Sam Laporta. Now, Jack Campbell and Gibbs are the two I'm really worried about. I think we'll actually hold on to Branch, but we're so stacked at linebacker with Jack Campbell, Anzalone, who I don't know if Anzalone will be with us next year either, but we have a really, really long list at linebacker. That could be one of the guys we let go, even though he's really coming into his own right now, especially now that we've given him green dot. You also have to consider he's probably going to end up filling in for Anzalone next year as kind of the main guy on defense. He's already starting to become the main guy, but you know what I mean. And Gibbs, the problem with that is running backs are cheap, and if he is asking for way too much money, I'm sure there's a team that will go out and pay him. We still have Monty, Craig Reynolds. I mean, there. Listen, Gibbs is by far the best running back on our team, and he's by far one of the guys with the most ceiling on our team right now, still being the age he's at. We haven't even seen his full potential yet. It would suck to let a guy like Gibbs go. But you know, the thing with running backs are the treads could come off at any time, guys. And I don't think the Lions are really willing to overpay him just because there are so many running backs. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it would be sad if it did. Thank you so much for your comment, Fatic 4. This is going to be a tough one, and I think we're going to discuss it a lot more as the season goes on. And that's going to take us to our final comment with Stephen Fallon, who says, Ahmad Hassanin is coming back soon. Don't forget about that young monster. People will be impressed when he comes back. That young man is hungry and built to be dominant at defensive end. At the rate he's learning the game, he's going to be the answer opposite of Hutchinson. Combined with Muhammad and McNeil, Reader, Lions D-line is easily top 5. Lions are about to go off in the next 10 games. I totally agree. I'm so excited. Ahmad Hassanin was one of those guys we grabbed, watched his tape, watched what he did, and I'm like, wow, we got him this late. This dude is, talk about ceiling. Ceiling's up here. I'm really excited. And what you said about him learning the game, because remember, he didn't really know football too much when he was in Egypt, and then he came to America and just kind of learned the game. At the rate he is learning, he's a smart football player. He's a student of the game, and he's mean. He's got all the raw talent in the world. I can't wait to see what this guy does. And if he does get mixed into that starting, lineup, it would make me super happy. Can't wait to see what he does. Very excited to have him back. Thank you so much for your comments, Stephen Fallon. With that being said, we are out of time today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Lions Latest. If you made it to this point of the video, tell me what you guys think about the cap hit, and also tell me what you guys think about this game against the Vikings. I want to hear your opinions. Give me a score estimate as well while you're down there. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a single video here. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Go Lions, and I will see you in the next video.